when I was growing up, I had a lot of awesome ideas, but I could never talk any of my friends into joining me when I did them. For example, I was by myself in the 4th grade when I decided to moon the elementary school principal. I acted alone when I decided in middle school to take a crap in the boys' bathroom urinal. And I was downright lonely in high school when I decided to shoot off bottle rockets at unsuspecting neighbors. This kind of behavior granted me, for a short time in my small Catholic school, the nickname Satan. So you can understand why, when I was a senior in high school, Allison would come up to me and say, "Mike, you can come to my birthday party, but under one condition. You don't ruin my birthday party." Allison had invited everyone over to her parents' place. It was a huge party. I wanted to go, so I looked at her and I said, "Allison, don't worry. I promise I won't ruin your birthday party." That night I called my buddy Andrew. I'm like, "Andrew, I have the best idea to ruin Allison's birthday party." And he's like, why do you want to do that? I'm like, "Nips!" I called Andrew Nips because we both were on the swim team together, which is how I discovered Andrew had tiny nipples. "Nips! This is going to be amazing. We're going to give her a birthday present she will never forget." "Okay, well, what is it, Mike?" "2 words, Andrew. Stripper cake." But about my nipples? "Andrew, you gotta do this for me, bud. Okay, because 2 guys strip teasing, that's funny, that's great. 1 guy strip teasing, that's a cry for help, okay? I need you to help me out with this, Andrew, please." He goes, "All right, fine, Baireuther." Yes, I have an accomplice for once in my life. This is amazing. So the Saturday rolls around, Andrew comes to my place. We're grabbing cardboard and like duct tape and spray paint out of the garage, which is weird because I've told my mom that Andrew was coming over to work on an English literature project. She comes downstairs and she's like, "That doesn't look like it has anything to do with the Poisonwood Bible, Michael." And I'm like, "Mom, it's a project for a group presentation. You wouldn't understand." And so she leaves, like, questioning her parenting style, like, "Oh, I shouldn't be so hard on him." After 4 hours of work, we've built this monstrosity, and I realize we have no way to get it to Allison's party. So I think on my feet, and I decide to call Andrew's twin brother, Sam, whose nickname is Big Sam, because he's bigger than Andrew. And I'm like, "Big Sam, we need the truck, bud. We need you to come here with the truck so we can put in this amazing birthday present for Allison." And he's like, "Why would I do that?" I'm like, "Sam, I have convinced your brother to do something so embarrassing, he will never, ever live it down." And he's like, "All right, I'm in, Baireuther, I'm in." Sam shows up with his truck and we load in the cake, and then Andrew and I need to get our ride off to the party. And as things have conspired, there's only one way for me to get there, which is that I have been given the keys to my dad's car. My dad's prized possession. My dad's embodiment of decades of service to corporate America, his brand new BMW. So Andrew and I could have arrived at this party in style in a brand new Beamer, but instead we ride off into the middle of nowhere and park down the street, at which point, in the middle of a January winter in Pennsylvania with 6 inches of snow on the ground, Andrew and I get out of the car, strip down to our Speedos, cover ourselves in whipped cream, throw the clothes in the car, and hop in the back of the truck. Big Sam, Nips, and Satan pull up to the front of the party. Sam rushes in, opens the door, and using his considerable size, gets in the way of Allison's parents, who are like, "Hi, welcome to our home." Andrew and I run past them down to the basement, carrying the cake like a flash of white mail, just like, "Woo!" We then hide under this massive cake, which I was going for. Have you guys seen the movie Under Siege with Steven Seagal? You know, like that awesome, there's like 2 dudes who are like, "Yeah!" It's like this amazing stripper cake. But what it looked like was just like a pile of garbage stapled to more garbage. Andrew and I are half naked, just huddled next to each other, shivering. Andrew is like, "I'm cold. This is a terrible idea. Why did I listen to you, Baireuther?" And I'm like, "Andrew, I know you're cold, but look at how tiny your nipples are right now. It's like half-eaten Tic Tacs on your chest. This is incredible." We hear every girl and guy we have known for the past 4 years stream into this basement as Andrew and I wait, and we hear Allison take a seat and go, "What's this?" And I hit play on a boombox, and Red Hot Chili Peppers' Roller Coaster of Love plays, and we burst out of the cake and start doing the least sexy dance you've ever seen two men do. We're just like, yeah. And it's really awkward as we step over our cake and then turn Allison into the meat of like a pale white prepubescent male sandwich and just begin grinding our tiny frozen whipped cream covered penises all over her. It's horrifying, and she is curled up in terror. The rest of the room is looking on with a mixture of shame and hatred. Andrew and I are having a blast. We're like, this is great, mission accomplished. And we bolt for the door. We run upstairs. We head out into the winter night, run down the street through the 6 inches of snow, and get back to my dad's car. At which point I realize I don't have pockets. And I don't know where the key is. So Andrew and I now have one option, which is to turn our tiny frozen asses around and walk back to the house in hopes of getting some help. Allison's parents are like, welcome to our home. They throw a blanket over Andrew, and now I, like so many times before, am left appealing to my peers to come help me in one more ridiculous task. I'm like, guys, please, if I don't find this key, my dad will never, ever, ever let me leave the house again. And like so many times before, I am getting no help, and I am alone. Until one girl, this blonde named Molly, steps forward and says, okay, Baireuther, I'll help. She gives me her sweatshirt, which like comes down to here, and I stand in a Speedo with her in the winter cold, searching through snow by the light of a cell phone in hopes of finding this key for an hour. To no avail. After that night, I didn't even bother trying to convince my friends to join me in these terrible schemes anymore, and I gave up on stripping. But something must have worked, because a year and a half ago, I talked Molly into marrying me. Which was pretty great, yeah, some sympathy for the devil at last. And now, when I have these amazing ideas, I always have someone with me who is there and ready to talk me out of it. Thank you so much for coming out tonight.